It's Entspresso Billionaire Week Part 2, where I dig into my archives to bring you 5 lessons from 5 of the richest people in the world over the next 5 days. Up to date with a net worth of $2.5 billion is Oprah Winfrey.
I have paid attention to my life because I understand that my life, just like your life, is always speaking to you, where you are, in the language, with the people, with the circumstances and experiences that you can understand and interpret if you are willing to see that always life, God, is speaking to you. Now, it took me a while to actually really get this and to understand it, but once I did, I started paying attention to everything. And one of the reasons why I can now accept the fact that I can offer my gatherings of information and wisdom and call myself a spiritual teacher is that every single person who ever came on my show, and I hear there's like 37,000 guests I've talked to, a lot of them came from dysfunction and a lot of them wouldn't appear to be teachers, but every one of them had something to say that was meaningful and valuable and that I could use to grow myself into the best of myself, which is what all of our jobs are. Your number one job is to become more of yourself and to grow yourself into the best of yourself.
I think most people never find their greatness. I think everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something. You could be the Michael Jordan of something, and most people never find it. Most people come nowhere even close to finding it. Most people wake up and they drive to a job that they hate so that somebody else can build their dreams. You are working every single day so that somebody else can build their dreams instead of working on understanding yourself and building your own dreams. And I think the starting point is, if you have no idea what you have Michael Jordan level capabilities in, then that should be your immediate goal. Your immediate goal in life is to figure out what can you be the Michael Jordan at. And there's 3 main ways that people close themselves off to learning that really hold themselves back. And I want to shatter these expectations and belief systems right now in this video. The first is that people often only want to learn from people who look like them. And that's from a physical appearance. Like, men only want to learn from men. They won't respect learning from a woman. White people only want to learn from white people. Black people only want to work from black people. Asians only want to learn from Asians. If you restrict yourself to me being a white guy, to only learning from white guys, I'm never going to reach my potential. It's never going to happen. In this video right now, we're learning from Oprah Winfrey. It's a white guy learning from a black woman. I love it. If Oprah has a message that can help me get better, I'm going to embrace it. Now, I may not be able to relate to every message that she puts out there, but if she has a single message that's going to make me better, I want to hear it. I want to consume it. And too many of you are locked into only learning from somebody who looks exactly like you, and that will limit your growth. The second thing you need to break through is, if you see one thing that you don't like about somebody, you write that entire person off. This is partly why I started the top 10 rules, because I made a video on Kanye West, because people hate on Kanye West because of all the things that he does in public and his stunts, and sometimes puts his foot in his mouth. And that's fine, you don't have to agree with that. But this is a lot that you can still learn from Kanye West to help you become better. If you cannot learn from Kanye West because he does 1 or 2 or 10 things that you disagree with, then you're not putting him in a box, you're putting yourself in a box. You've put yourself in a box of how you will grow and learn. And just by that very definition, you're never going to get to where you want to be. So I have a big poster of Steve Jobs on my wall in my home office. I love Steve Jobs for the visionary, but how he treated people, I don't want to learn to treat people like Steve Jobs. How he was a father, he's not going to be my role model for that. But to be a visionary, I love that. Thinking big, put a dent in the universe, I love that, and I can learn from that. And so there may be 99 things that you hate about somebody, but if they've had success, you can learn that one thing. That's what your goal is. Your goal is not to be the next Steve Jobs, it's to be the best version of you. And you get that by taking different pieces from different people. You could be the Steve Jobs visionary, and you can be a great, caring, loving person, right? You could be a great family person as well. And so you're taking one thing from Steve Jobs and one thing from Seth Godin and one thing from Oprah and one thing from Mother Teresa to make that unique creature called you. Some people complain that I have somebody like Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, on my channel. We've done a couple videos on him because he went to jail. It's like, how could you make videos on somebody who went to jail? You're posting this guy up as a role model. In the videos that we have of him, all the messages are positive, right? Everything still gets put through Believe binoculars. Every message is positive. And yes, Jordan Belfort did things that were illegal. And other people have done illegal things on my channel too. And I'm not saying that that is a good thing that you need to go off and do, but I am saying you can learn from Jordan Belfort, for example, how to sell. You can learn a lot about how to sell, how to have confidence from Jordan Belfort, and then use those skills for something positive. Use those skills for something good. And if you write off a guy like Jordan Belfort and say, well, he committed a crime, so I'm never gonna learn from him, he doesn't care. You've put yourself in a limited box of how you're gonna learn. Because that perfect person that you wanna learn from doesn't actually exist. If there's one person who could teach you everything in life, then the best thing you're gonna be is a junior version of them and never the full version of yourself. So you're taking these pieces, take something that you can learn from Jordan and discard the rest. Same thing with the top 10 rules. I learned something from every single video that I put up, but you don't have to learn something from every 10. If you get one message out of the 10 that resonates with you and that shifts, that sparks a difference for you, that's great, that's a win. And if the other 9 don't mean anything to you, throw them away. Who cares? You're not trying to be that person, you're trying to be a better you. And so many people are just locked into one restricted way of thinking, and if one person has done one little thing that they disagree with, they write off that person, and all you're really doing is writing off yourself. So change it, change that mindset immediately. When you can learn from the people that you hate the most, who've had success, when you can find something in the person that you hate the most, who's had success, and find something that you can learn from them, that's when you really start to win. And the third thing that holds people back is just their learning style. If you can only learn from one way of teaching, then you're also gonna be limited. I had a call with a guy who was trying to help me with my business, and it was supposed to be half an hour talking about a project I'm working on. And as we got in the call, I recognized immediately some limiting beliefs, and so it ended up being the whole call about him. 45 minutes, all about him, and I had to jet to go to the next call because that was my hard cap. And so we spent 0 time talking about my project and everything talking about him, because that's what I do. It's believe, I love it. I'm not regretting that decision. We got back on a call later on that afternoon, and he said, thank you so much. I appreciate your perspective. It really helped me. And the 45 minutes of debating with you really helped give me my perspective, because I learned through debate. So that is your problem. That's what you need to fix immediately, because most people will not have the patience to sit there with you for 45 minutes to walk you through an argument. And if the only way you're gonna learn is through debate, then again, you have put yourself in a box, and you need to learn from multiple paths. Even learning from your haters, if you guys make content, you guys put ideas out there, you're gonna get people who hate on your idea. And sometimes it's just pure negativity and there's no point behind it, but oftentimes they're complaining about something that is legit. I made a video about Jordan Peterson, my first top 10 of Jordan Peterson. We made a video and my mic was broken that day. And so we made all the videos for that month with a crazy echo in the studio because we're picking up the camera mic instead of my actual mic.
Hello, Believe Nation. My name is Evan Carmichael. My one word is believe, and I believe that entrepreneurs will solve all of the world's major problems.
And the amount of hate that I got on that video for the sound quality was out of control. And some of them were really nice about it. Some of them were saying, hey, I love your videos. I don't know if you noticed, your microphone wasn't quite working that day. And some of them were like, this is terrible. This guy has all these subscribers, doesn't put any love into his videos. Like, you're in an echo chamber, dude. It sounds like you're in a washroom. Just dumping hate. But it comes from a place of, they're right. Right? Like, if I see negativity and refuse to learn from it, then I put myself in the box and I will never grow. So if you can only learn from one style, if you can only learn through debating, or if you can only learn when somebody sugarcoats everything for you and gives it to you your medicine with a spoonful of sugar, right? If it's the only way you're gonna take input, your growth will be so insanely slow. And so I think your ultimate goal My ultimate goal is to be able to be the best version of yourself, whatever that looks like, right? Michael Jordan level talent at something and go have that kind of impact. You can do that for your industry, for something. And most people have no idea how to get there. Most people haven't even started. And a lot of it is because they have a learning style where they only want to learn from people who look like them. They only want to learn from people who have never done anything wrong at all. They agree 100% with what this person always does. And then they only have one learning style of they have to be walked through, or they have to debate, or they have to do it their way, and that's the only way they're ever going to learn. And so because of all these restrictions, it means they never learn, and you never figure out who you could be. And so my goal with this entire channel is to bring you diversity, bring you different ideas, bring you people from different backgrounds, athletes, entrepreneurs, inventors, singers, politicians, who all are pointing at the same thing in the hopes that finally you get the message. And for people from different races and religions and backgrounds and gender, because maybe you finally hear it in some way. If you hear it enough times over and over and over again from different people, it finally clicks. But I encourage you to examine your own life and see where your blocks are. How are you putting yourself in a box, and how is that limiting you? Because I guarantee you, you don't become the Michael Jordan by living in a box. It's not going to happen. And I desperately want you to break free. Now I've got a really special bonus clip for you, but before that, I want to know which of those 3 learning blocks do you feel most resonates with you? Do you feel like you only learn from people who look like you? Do you feel like if somebody does one thing that you disagree with, you write that person off as a person, refuse to learn from them? Or do you have a preferred learning style that then holds you back from learning in different ways? Or is there some combination of all of them? leave it in the comments below, and I hope, my sincere hope is that by writing it down, you also release it. That you're writing it down, you recognize that this is limiting me, this is my box, and I want to release it out into the world. So write it down in the comments below. I want to help you release it. Thank you guys so much for the love. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of Entspresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going.
Well, I'm stuck in a rut because I can't seem to follow through with anything. I went to college for 1.5 years and I dropped out. Then I went to cosmetology school. I completed that, but I never went back to get my license. Then I was a pharmacy technician, and I recently let that license expire as well. I just see like so many people that are my age and they're already set in their careers. And I just feel like at 29, I'm a people person. So I want to do something like human resources, and I just need help. Like, where do I begin?
First of all, you're talking about stuff that I can relate to like so many others can relate to. I mean, you know, everybody got the same story. We just got different details. But like I always say, life is 10% what happens to you, is 90% what you do about it. See, we're going to dive into a chapter from my new book, and it's chapter 1, section 1. This is very clear for people. So the first step is getting completely and brutally honest enough to say, I am tired of myself. When you say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's the facilitator of change. That's when you're ready to say these words, no more excuses. No more excuses. I went to Kent State, I dropped out. I didn't drop out, I flunked out. Now that threw my life into a spiral, but because I didn't have a college degree, I could not let that stop me. And like you're doing, where you're saying, all my friends at this age are settling in your careers, you don't even know if they're happy or not. Stop comparing yourself to others. So the first thing you do is stop focusing on other people. Instead, focus on being the best version of you that you can. Then you'll recognize that you deserve to sit at the big table with everybody else after you become the best that you can be. Now, once you've accepted that you have as much right to success and much right to succeed as anybody else, the next step is learning how to talk the talk. You have to get fluent in the language of success so you speak it with ease. Surround yourself with people who've accomplished their dreams and immerse yourself in the culture of achievement.
The notion that we are not enough is a lie. And I think more young people need to know that like when you have that thought that you're not enough, that's based on a lie that somebody said to you or a lie that somebody did to you. Like somebody said or did something to you to make you feel like you're not enough. And that's not true. That you are everything that you need to be, that you have everything that you need to be the person that you're meant to be and to be the best version of who you're meant to be. It may mean that you have to work really hard, and it may mean that you have to ask for help, but you are perfectly blessed. You know, you are exactly who you're supposed to be joyful in this life. So don't be afraid to work hard, and don't be afraid to ask for help so you can get there, because that's your truth.
I was different. I still am different. I'm in a country which is very far, far away from home, very far away from familiarity. And I think that's what my strengths are. When I was young, I didn't understand that. When I was a kid in school, when I was being bullied, when I didn't understand who I was turning into. But what makes you different if you identify that and you realize that, all right, this is what's different about me. If you think about it, that's exactly what makes you special. That's exactly what makes you unique. And you need to just, and I did that over time, be the best version of yourself. Because the more different you are, the more special you are.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.